The clock will start when you start speaking.
Hello. I'm a hydrogeologist with 30 years of experience, and I spoke to you on the 31st of October about your duty to protect the Shelton borehole, which supplies Shrewsbury drinking water, which is threatened by the plan to build the North West Road. You decided on that occasion to ignore the concerns of the Environment Agency and press on with approving the application, despite being told that the Highways Department and their consultants had still not done the work that the Environment Agency asked for in their scoping opinion that was provided in 2019. After that meeting, the EA wrote you a letter setting out the inadequacies of the EIA and the fact that the application was not in a state to be determined. However, the Highways Department and LPA were determined to press on and completely ignored the views of a statutory consultee. So, the EA provided some text for conditions, whilst making it absolutely clear that they did not advocate such an approach. The planning officers have now put these conditions before you for approval. I thought I would use my long experience as a hydrogeologist to explain what is actually involved in the work that is now being shunted into conditions. Condition 21 requires a detailed quantitative risk assessment to be carried out. The existing DQRA is a 130-page document full of complex calculations to predict what would happen if there were to be a contaminant spill. By putting such a complex risk assessment into a condition, the planning officers are suggesting that the outcome of these complex calculations will show that the scheme is safe and that the proposed mitigation is okay. You do not know this outcome in advance. So what would be the mechanism for making changes if the results show that there is a high risk? Is this something that can be safely left to the planning officers to sort out, with no oversight from the planning committee and no visibility from the public, who are clearly concerned about the risk to their water supply? Likewise, Condition 30 requires a Water Framework Directive assessment to be submitted and approved by the LPA and the Environment Agency. The directive is very clear that deterioration of the status of a water body, like the Permo-Triassic aquifer that Shelton uses for its supply, deterioration is not allowable. What if the Water Framework Directive assessment concludes that deterioration will occur? Will the project be cancelled or completely redesigned then? How much more money will be spent before the Highways Department gets to that point? I hope you can see from what I've said how wrong it is for these things to be dealt with in the planning conditions. You should therefore send this back to be properly determined on the basis of complete information. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Well timed. Thank you very much for that. Right, we have Matthew McHugh. Would you like to come forward, please?